car video in so long, but like I said on my Abbott Elementary recap video, I have been busy trying to get back in the swing of things. So welcome back to Authentically RGB TV, AAB TV, y'all. We are about to get this Snowfall recap slash review going, because I watched it and I got some things to talk about, y'all. So welcome. Let's get into this video. Okay, y'all, so this video it may be part in the car, part at home, but anyways, y'all, this episode was called y'all, I don't even know, my apologies, but I know it's episode 4 of the last and final season of Snowfall. And like I said last time, y'all, everybody is just on the edge. It is crazy in LA. Okay, so the first part of the episode, we see the plan that V, her mom, and Franklin done put together. They got all their ducks in a row and they are putting the plan into place. They got, you know, they're going to go get all of these files and from some money dude, and they got his secretary in on it, and she's racing against the clock before he gets back from his dinner or his lunch with V's mom. And even during that situation, the lady was nervous, dropping stuff. Franklin just off wherever he was at, huffing and puffing, just waiting until he get the call to come and meet up with V and her mom. V's in the back seat, and the lady, the secretary, comes in. She's trying to hurry up and click the pictures. Lo and behold, as they're trying to stall this finance guy that is on that is over here on a lunch date with V's mama, something happens. It's a slip up in the time in the plan, and he ended up leaving, and she's like, because it's like going to mess up everything that they're doing. So they page each other, whatever, you know, their code is, and the lady's like, oh my god, that's his car, and they're racing again against the clock for him to before he gets into the building for her to get in. And again, home, his secretary, she's dropping stuff. She's then dropped the keys. I'm like, oh my god, like, she's gonna get caught. She's gonna get everybody caught. But eventually V comes up with a plan. She stops him, acts like she knew him from back in the day in high school or something like that, y'all. And then the lady walks in and gets everything back where it needs to be, and she's like, whew. So then there's like a whole meetup, y'all. And what made me so mad was like how hot-headed Franklin was. Like, he is so just amped up this season. And I know, because if it was anybody else, y'all, we would be wanting our money too. Like, that's a lot of money on the line that Teddy took from him or whatever, and he's trying to figure out a way to get him in trouble so that he could get his money back. Listen, all type of stuff. And so he was like hot-headed because he felt like the plan was messed up. It didn't go as it was supposed to go. V's trying to calm him down, and he's going off against smart with her mama. And her mama's like, oh, see, I ain't come here for all that. And I was like, you're daggone right, because first of all, I'm trying to help you, and I don't have to. And you talking crazy to me ain't gonna get you nothing. So then he's talking all cash crazy to her, and V even told him, like, look, we got a plan B, you have to trust us. And he's just like basically upset because this, like I said, the stuff didn't go the right way, and he felt like everything they did was like for no reason. And so he's like, look, y'all gonna get my money, and like I can't handle it no more. He's just like on edge, ready to just yell, scream, kill, shoot anybody. And I'm just like, Franklin, like, the hot-headedness is not gonna get you nowhere. So her mama was like, look, I'm not dealing with the mess. I'll go home and I'll go back to what I do. Like, I ain't gotta help you. So V's like, look, let me talk to him, and let's just continue with what we got going on. So our dear friend Leon is in the hood, and we get again a glimpse of how just crazy it looks, because like you said, home doesn't look like home to him anymore. And so it's just more violence going on. D done shot out the lights on the whole playground because he felt like it was, I think, putting too much spotlight on his workers. And, you know, he kind of was complaining to D about that, and D brushed it off. So he was like, yeah, whatever. So he's also talking to Baby Fro. I can't think of the boy's name, y'all, so I always come up with nicknames. I'm sorry. But the nerdy dude that's a part of that lives in the hood and is working with the drug dealer, works with D. And he's letting him know, like, you know, what's up with your college applications. Like, I know you're gonna get up out of here. You got the brains, you got the smarts. Like, the streets is not safe. Like, you need to really think about it. And he's like, you know, I've been going back and forth and doing it, but I don't see no reason to, and all of these other things. So he's trying to basically encourage him to think outside the box, do better than him, do better than everybody else that he's surrounding himself with. Then on the other hand, we see the murder for hire dude that worked with Mama Saint. And he's, you know, in a hotel room or in a house, something, and y'all, he ended up being gay. And I was just like, wow, well, that was a shocker to it. But he ended up having to get up, leave his spouse or whatever, his partner, and go and handle some business. So that was a little scene. But again, that was a shock to all of us. I was like, wow, the tea was spilled on that one. And then we see our girl Wanda, who she's walking in the hood. She's about to go about her day, and she sees like some dudes just messing with some lady that's laid out in the street. And everybody's looking at her like, you used to be, you know, just saying like little smart aleck stuff to like throw digs at her. And she's trying to, like, she's just realizing the realities of the hood. Like, there's drugs everywhere. She don't know how she's gonna be able to make it. She hates being in the hood. She, you know what I'm saying, she doesn't have any family really there to support her. She feels like maybe, you know, any day now she's gonna relapse, and it's just like, it's just way too much for her. And so we see that she has a sit down later on with Mama Saint, and just she's, you know, encouraged her to do something different, instead of staying around and racking her brain about, you know, having to see the drugs and having to see the gangbangers and all of that stuff and the violence. Put herself in a situation where she's able to help other people, and that way it helps her. So she encouraged her to work at the shelter that Alton had, and that's what she ended up doing, and she ended up loving it. And then we also have a conversation between V, like I said, and Franklin about this plan B that they got going on. And he wants to actually go with her and her mom to do whatever it is that they're doing. And she's like, no, like, trust us. You go handle your stuff with Kane, and me and my mama, we gonna go, which they did, and handle our business. And so we see that he ends up going to talk with Kane and see how it is. And they like have this love-hate relationship for each other. Like, they got beef, but they also know, like, I need you to help me make money. So the money is like the motivator in this whole entire situation. And in this conversation that him and Kane are having, he's basically like, look, my product is moving, but it's slow because I don't have a lot of workers. And I'm just like, well, yeah, like, everybody turned on you, sir. And so Frank was like, look, I want your help. I want you to show me where your trap house is, where y'all cooking up the product. And I want to get in there, get a feel of it, see what's up, and then you and me can make more money together. And then Kane's looking at him like, you think you just like the ruler of all, you know what I'm saying, like the boss of all the drug dealers in the drug game. Like, bro, like, you doing too much. But then he's like, look, I'm trying to get my money, and I know you trying to get your money. Then they have words back and forth, and then, but he ended up going along with what Franklin wanted him to do, because he made that money talk sound real good to him. And so he's like, all right, let them know when you get there, like, whatever you say, it's coming from me. I gave you the okay to do it. And so boom, that's what it was. And I was just like, I was very curious to see how that was gonna work, because I'm just like, Franklin runs his stuff like totally different, and the way he's been talking to people, the way he's been acting, like, them dudes was in for a surprise of their life, y'all. It was crazy up in that house. It was crazy. So I told y'all it was gonna be part of us in the car, part of it is in the house. So let's get back to it. So Teddy, now that he's found out about these Russians possibly trying to like throw off his whole operation, he's nervous. He got a bunch of decisions to make. Everybody, I feel like, is in dealings with him. That he got everybody on his back. He got Louis now that he's working with. He got Franklin after him. He got all the DEA looking for him. Got the little murder for hire dude looking for him. Like, Teddy looks stressed. Season 6, Teddy looks more lost in the face, sad in the eyes. He is stressed. And y'all know, since he found his little boo thing, the nurse girl, they have been like staying together or whatever, and they sitting on the porch, they having to talk about him wanting to quit the whole thing, him wanting to leave the country, him needing the money, and then the girl is giving her 2 cents. And I knew it was gonna come because I could tell he was feeling her. Was, if he decided to leave the country, would she go with him? And she was like, she liked it where she was, but depending upon like how I feel like she said something like the money situation or how everything goes with him and dealing with all these different people, she would let him know. And I was just like, I knew they was gonna eventually get together. I mean, it was like clear as day. But I kind of feel bad for Teddy, but I feel like something else is going on with him. And like, am I the only one? Like, it's just something, I don't know. He just seems very like lost in space. Like I told y'all, everybody this season seems super, super high strung and stressed for the right reasons, of course, because I mean, it's drugs involved, it's money involved, it's violence involved. Like, I would be stressed too. And then I told y'all about the talk that Wanda had with Mama Saint, aka Sissy, and she, like went and worked at the shelter, and she found a lot of just joy in doing that. And also because what's his name, Kane, gave Franklin the okay to go to the cookhouse and like shake up the spot. That's exactly what he did. He bust up in there. The dude who, I guess, quote unquote, ran the trap house or whatever was like, hold up, who are you? And it's Franklin, and Kane sat like little homeboy or whatever, and Franklin's running his game like, look, y'all sitting up here being lazy. Y'all got females in here. Y'all got crackheads in here. Like, this whole operation is about to get flipped upside down. Y'all about to be working 12-hour shifts. I was like, dang, Franklin, 12-hour shifts for cooking crack? Like, my goodness. But then he was like, basically told him, like, if you don't like it, get out. And every single one of them did. But before that, the dude who thought he was running things or whatever, he felt like, of course, Franklin was stepping on his toes, because Franklin came in there on some old boss stuff, and what he was talking, I'm talking about talking. Franklin, he ain't too much say nothing. Put that man's face on a burner. Burnt that man's face up. I'm talking about burnt that man's face up. And again, too high-headed, was talking all crazy to him. You want to talk smack? I bet you want to cook now. Like, I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. And everybody else was like looking in like, oh, dude is crazy. Like, he's serious. So then that's when he was like, if y'all don't want to get down with this, y'all don't want to make no money, get out. And so everybody walked out, and Franklin felt like, you know what, it's me and it's Kane's dude over here. Like, you ever cook crack before? Because that's what we finna do, because y'all not finna like play with my money. We finna get this ball rolling. And then they get a knock at the door, and it's another one of the dudes that had previously walked out, and he was like, look, I want to work. And so they got some type of thing going. So like during this time, I guess it's later on in the day, maybe a day or two later, who knows, we see Baby Fro once again, like the little nerd gangster boy, and he's counting all this money because, he works for D, and he's looking at the college application and, you know, just going in his mind. Like, I feel like a lot of things in this episode also have to do with decision making and making the right choices. And so he's trying to make that choice. Do I stay with the drug gang? Do I go to college and live a life? Because I know that I'm smart. I know that I can do it. But I don't really know. I'm not feeling it, but I know I should. And so in walks D, which I'm very much starting not to like anymore. Because he's a little too cocky, too arrogant for me. I don't know. So he walks in, he sees him with the college, you know, the paper, the application, and basically down talks dude into wanting to stay in the drug game, because he's like, you already know more than the professors. You smart. Like, you got all of this stuff, like, prepared for me. You got all of the things handled as far as like making everything look like a legit money making business. Like, what you need to go to college for. And he literally like sits there and like feeds him all this negativity about bettering his life with an education. And I was just like, I knew somebody was gonna be at the other end, because we had Leon telling him to go, and now we got D telling him not to. And then he even had the nerve to sit up there and be like, you know what, you stay, I'm gonna give you a raise. So, you know, that is always gonna play with people's mental, because they like, you know, you need money to live, but at the same time, it's like all money is not good money. All opportunities that sound good are not always good. And we always know, like, with the drug gang, with the dope gang, with the gang life, like, that's not gonna get you nothing good. So later on in the episode, we finally get to see Louis, and we finally get to see Uncle, because he done made me mad too, how mean he nasty he is. And they're like sitting in that club. Security comes in and says they got a visitor. Lo and behold, it's old Burnt Face. And he's up there talking about, he know where Franklin is. He know where he be hanging at. He know the dealings between him and Kane. And he was just like, I don't like him, F Kane, F Franklin. And all they do is look at each other and like then have like this little funny smirk, because they like, oh, this is somebody who they done pissed off, and now they on our team, and we need all the people we can get to nephew, right? And so lo and behold, y'all, he's playing the role. And I thought, you know, it was gonna be on some old like they're gonna eventually see dude with Louis, and then it just be that, and see that, you know, he's a traitor. But y'all, it was a whole mess, like a whole freaking mess. Dude ends up being involved in a drive-by situation when Kane and Franklin met up again, and they was going back and forth. They had like a little back and forth argument or whatever, and then all of a sudden they sitting in the living room, shots ring out, two dudes running the car, so they get to the kitchen, find the guns, they shooting this person, and then in comes the little dude with the burnt face, and they like, Todd? That's his name. His name was Todd. Shot him dead right there in the kitchen, made the escape through the back door, and Franklin and Kane lived to see another day. Then I failed to mention, neither, you know, when the drive-by happened, nobody knew, like, as far as Kane and Franklin, why, you know, any of it happened. But when they seen Todd, they figured he had something to do with it. But I know for a fact they don't know anything about Louis and them having to do with it too. And so then we go to Gustavo and Teddy. Again, two stressed out looking people who just don't know what to do. So they link up, they have a discussion. Gustavo leaves, and for a moment, a split second, I was like, Teddy's starting to get a little bit suspicious, because Gustavo is a little bit more on edge than normal. And so he kind of had this like look about him, and I was like, he's gonna do something to this guy. Like, he's feeling like there's something extra going on, which we all know that it is. And so eventually Gustavo tries to go home. Old girl kicks him out. He ends up going to a bar. While at this bar, he's sitting next to Murder for Hire dude, which he doesn't recognize at first, until they start talking. And the dude tells him, like, you know, you've seen me before, and I offered you champagne at a wedding. And then Gustavo's just kind of like silent, looking like around the whole time, like, what you about to do to me? Because at first he was getting mad, but then dude told him to calm down. He propositions him with all of these things that have to do with getting Teddy caught And he's like, I already know about the DEA and I want what they want. Then he breaks some news that Teddy is not who he says he is, and that eventually he's just going to throw him to the wayside. And if Gustavo works with him, everything's gonna be everything. He can keep him out of trouble. He's gonna guarantee all of that. And he had basically given him 24 hours to make that decision. And so all of this information was kind of like blowing me back, especially when he said like Teddy is not who he says he is. And so as the night ends, Gustavo walks away, and guess who's sitting in the car, y'all? Just like I said it was suspicious, Mr. Teddy sitting in the car taking pictures. So it's like I said before, decisions. What do I do? Everybody's stressed out. Don't nobody trust each other. I'm just like, oh my gosh, now this little partnership finna be out of the, you know what I'm saying, like just done for. Mind you, the DEA told Gustavo that they finna make the drop on the warehouse and they want to catch him in there. And I'm just like, that is too much pressure for me. Jail, I am built for it. Drugs and all of that gang balance, I ain't built for it. Y'all keep that to yourself. Like, I would never, I don't care how much money I needed, I would never get caught up in that, y'all, because it is too freaking much. And I know back then it was worse, it was crazy, but even now I know it's probably even way freaking worse. Like I couldn't. And so lastly, y'all, we gonna end it with my favorite couple, Lee and Wanda. So earlier in the day, the whole situation with Dee shooting the lights out and Leon approached him asking him to fix it. He was talking smack like, no, I'm not. So before, you know, Lee and Wanda had this conversation, I'm pretty sure like Lee was just like, I'm gonna get him fixed. And then it was just like, I ain't listening to him. So they go about their day. So now they're sitting in the courtyard of the projects. D and his little crew is sitting across from them, but you can, in listening distance, so they having a conversation or can clearly see what the other person's doing and vice versa. So they over there doing what they do, being rude, disrespectful, and crazy. Up walks Wanda because she done left the shelter, and she's like, "What's up, husband?" I was like, it's so cute. So she's walking up on Leon. He's out there smoking or whatever. He's looking down because, like I said, decisions. And he let her know, like, I thought me coming back here was going to help something. I thought that me coming back here was going to help me to get my mind together, get my life straight, you know. But like I said before, like, home is not home anymore. The people that he was tight with are now enemies, and everything in the hood is just worse and worse. Nobody cares about nothing. It's not safe, and he's just like tired of it. And then the whole time that they having their little heart-to-heart conversation, D's just talking smack like, oh, you done wiped up the community home and all of this other stuff. And the whole time Wanda's like listening, because of course they can both hear. And that's so, like, first of all, it's embarrassing. It's hurtful because, you know, when you change your life, and then you got them one people who just never see you as who you have changed to be. They always gonna hold their negativity over your head. So they clown and leave for basically wifing up a crackhead and a prostitute. And she's like, don't pay attention to it, because the whole time he ain't saying nothing. And I was like, again, growth, because you ain't gonna sit there and disrespect my peoples in front of me, and I'm not gonna say nothing. So he's sitting there, she's telling him, like, don't pay attention. And he's still just running his mouth. And you can tell Leon is just like, all right, bro, like, I'm going to have to see you one day because you just keep trying me. And then they're going from there. So then towards the end of the episode, Wanda and Lee are in the house now talking to Baby Fro again, and he's complaining about like a lot of the essay questions on college applications and why they want all this information. They're just having like little small talk. All of a sudden you hear gunshots go off, and so they ducking down. Then they walk outside to see what the commotion is. Again, like I told you, I knew it was gonna happen. Leon done paid somebody to fix the street lights in the hood. And D was mad about it. So being the disrespectful dude that he is, he goes and he shoots him out again. So, of course, Leon doesn't spend his money on it. He's tired of D trying him. So he's walking out there, taking off his stuff. And his wife, Wanda's like, get him, baby. Get him, baby. And they get to fighting. At first, oh my God. The whole time, I'm clutching my pearls because I'm like, if something happens to Leon, I am going to lose it, because the whole time the animosity, the violence, the rage is in everybody. I'm like, if something freaking happens to Leon or Wanda, I'm going to lose my mind. Am I the only one? Because I was like, oh my gosh. So he comes out there, he's ready to fight. The hood, all the hood circling around, and it ain't no guns or nothing, y'all. It's literally one-on-one fist fight. And at first, D was getting the best of Leon, but Lee found a way to come back. And I'm talking about beat him to shreds. Little guy, big guy, beat him up, and everybody, and just walked away. And as they were walking away, it was him, Wanda, and the Baby Fro, the nerdy gangster dude. I'm gonna get his name right one day, y'all. But they walked away, and they're like holding him up, because of course he done put all his energy into fighting D's big ass. And then he, you know, he's kind of weak, so they holding him up. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I've seen my share of hood movies and shows. I thought somebody was gonna pull the strap and shoot, and it was either gonna be one of them three, and my heart would have just been broken. But I'm so glad that it did not. But what I am nervous about, and in these coming episodes, is what the heck is gonna happen now. Because the way D is, his arrogance, his pride, his gangster, he ain't gonna let that slide. And I'm talking about, he was knocked out, laid out in front of everybody, and he's this big time drug dealer, and little Leon done came back and put the work on him. Like, what? Are you serious? So y'all, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen. I have my predictions, but I hope I am wrong. And I just love this show. Like, I had a conversation about it earlier today. Like, this season, it has to go hard because it's the last season, and it's just like they're really doing it up. They're really doing it up, where it seems like it's too much, but at the same time, like, it's not. Like, I don't want the season to go by extremely fast. I hope like it like slows down a little bit, maybe, or it like continues to build up, and it's like this big dramatic thing that will bring closure to us, because this show, great show, is coming to an end. And I just want to shout out John Singleton, who started the show. Unfortunately, you know, he passed away. Like, I hope that he is super, super proud that this show is still like a trending, very much talked about, watched, anticipated show. Even though, again, it's sad that it's coming to an end, but 6 seasons is good. Because at first, I was not feeling Snowfall. But as I watched, oh my gosh. Like, and then another question was, do y'all think they ever gonna find Peaches? And is old girl that used to be with Franklin gonna ever come back from being at her religious people's house? Like, so many questions. Don't know what's gonna happen. But this was a great episode. Very surprising, because I was not expecting D or Lee to get into it like that. But I'm glad that somebody whooped his butt, because he needed it, because he was doing and has been doing the absolute freaking most. So, and that is it, y'all. Finally got this recap up, or review, whatever you want to call it. Spoiler alerts, all that. Sorry, y'all. I like to talk about the shows that I like, and this is a show that I truly like. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Anything that I missed, I don't think I did, let me know if I did. Remember to tell a friend. I'm trying so hard to build up my YouTube, get some content that people want to see and stuff like that. So I will see y'all next week for another sit down chit chat about Snowfall. Y'all have a good weekend. Peace.